What's going on, everybody? If you guys catching this after I went live, I go live every single Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. If you guys want to join me and be part of the conversation, that's Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Today, I have a guest coming on. I have not gotten confirmation from the guest today, but let's hope he comes through. He's a guy who's in the Terence Crawford's camp. He's one of his assistant trainers. I'm looking forward to it. He's a very, very passionate guy. So that's why I'm really, really looking forward to today. Hopefully he comes on. I sent him he agreed yesterday. I sent him a reminder today. He hasn't hit me back up, but hopefully he comes on. But again, the show's mostly gonna be about Terence Crawford and the potential fight with him and Errol Spence. That's what the show's mostly gonna be about. Hopefully he comes on. But before I get into that, I want to wait until some people come on. I want to talk about Canelo Alvarez getting offers from both PBC and Al Haymon. That is a very, very, very interesting situation in boxing. Canelo Alvarez is not only the most popular fighter in all of boxing, he's also the number one pound for pound fighter. He's a knockout artist. Look, he knocked out Yildirim. He knocked out what's his name? Billy Joe Saunders. He knocked out Caleb Plant. He didn't knock out Callum Smith, but Callum Smith took a bad punishment. His arm was all swollen up. It was pretty brutal. And so yeah, I'm really looking forward as to what Canelo Alvarez's next moves are. Again, I'll get into more detail as far as what the offers that he got from PBC and the Zone, what those look like. I'll get into more detail once more people jump on, but definitely looking forward to this show. Again, I got my man Bernie the Boxer, one of the trainers of Terence Crawford, coming on. Hopefully he comes on and explain to us, is this fight ever gonna happen? Is the fight with Terence Crawford and Errol Spence ever gonna happen? Because right now it doesn't look like it's ever gonna happen. It looks like the money doesn't make sense for the PBC side to do it. They're not going to do it just for the good of boxing. They're going to do it where they feel the split and guaranteed money is equal to what they're going to benefit. And apparently that doesn't go in line with Terence Crawford's purse demands. That's what I'm gathering from the research I've done. Well, really from the interview I heard on the PBC podcast. Tim Smith, who works for PBC, pretty much got on that, gave an interview where he said that Terence Crawford he said, this is exact. Now, you know what? Let me get you the exact quote. Let me get you the exact quote, because I don't want to just sit here and misquote and be like, oh, that's not what he said. And, you're misquoting, even though it wasn't on purpose. But let me see if I can find the exact quote and give it to you guys, because according to him, what Terence Crawford would want doesn't go in line with how much they're willing to offer. Sanchez, what up, my brother? Salute to you too, my brother. I haven't seen you in a minute. Like, I feel like you pop in and out every now and then. What's going on, my brother? Shout out to you. Shout out to Miami. I know that's where you from. I love Miami, by the way. That's one of my favorite cities in America. By far, I love Miami. I love the food, love the weather, love the women. I mean, I'm taken now, but you know what I mean. All right. So this is the exact quote that Tim Smith, yo, Carlos Montes, what up, my brother? Another one of my loyal subscribers. Shout out to you. Let me screen share, that way y'all see what I'm talking about. But today we're talking Bud. And again, I'm gonna get into talking about Canelo. Some news just dropped about Canelo, but I just want to finish my thought on the Terence Crawford situation. So this is Tim Smith. I believe, what is his exact position? Let me see. He's the vice president of communications for Haymon Boxing and PBC. So this is a person who's very, very important in boxing. This is somebody who has a lot of hands in terms of the business of boxing. So this was in a quote he said. This is on why Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. hasn't happened. His exact response was economics. And you don't really want to insult a guy like Terence Crawford, who's a tremendous talent, and I'm not taking anything away from his talent, but he hasn't been built into a pay-per-view star. I'm not saying that to throw shade at the guy, but you got to go on his track record, on what he's done in the pay-per-view fights he's been involved in. It's not my job to tell anybody how to make him a pay-per-view star. We have enough work on our hands dealing with trying to make our own guys into pay-per-view stars, but he still hasn't been built. Does that sound like a guy who's trying to make a fight? That sounds like a guy who goes, well, not necessarily that is willing to make a fight. Does that sound a guy who's willing to pay what Terence Crawford's demand is? And the way Terence Crawford has handled his career is like, hey, listen, I know I'm one of the best pound for pound fighters. Give me that fight and give me the amount of money that a pound for pound fighter deserves. And if that's the approach he's going to have in these negotiations, from reading that quote, it doesn't look like the fight will happen. This is the vice president of Pbc and Haymon boxing. This is somebody very high in the food chain when it comes in terms of these negotiations. And it's funny, Tim Smith used to work for the Daily News, so I'm familiar with him. I used to read. He was a journalist. He used to write about boxing on the Daily News. I remember I used to read his stuff. But now he's working for PBC because he knows the ins and out of boxing. And his response right there is, listen, I don't know if I'm going to be able to come up with his demands. That's what his response is. And even though I don't like what he said, he says, let me find the part. He goes, well, I can't find it, but point is, in part of the quote, he's like, I don't know how much money he wants, but we don't want to insult him with an offer. Let me see. All right, there's another quote. This isn't the same quote I read. Trust me, if there's money in him fighting Errol Spence where he can get what he wants and Errol can get what he wants, the fight would get made. You don't want to insult the guy and make him an offer that's insulting. Nobody wants to do that. He's a proud champion, and you don't want to do that to him. But from a business standpoint, it's a fight that might excite the fans and all these people that are out there yelling about pay-per-view. They're not buying it anyways. They're not going to plop down any money to make it successful. They're going to steal the fight, and the numbers won't be enough to get him what he wants. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That may be true. That may be true, if we're being honest. That's why I'm always on here telling y'all, hey, listen, man, that's not a fight you stream. That's a fight you buy. I said that with the Canelo fight. I said that with the Tyson Fury fight, Tyson Fury Wilder fight. I said that with the Crawford Porter fight. There's some fights where I'm like, listen, they're giving you quality. Let's pay for it. Because at the end of the day, it affects your favorite fighter. Let's say your favorite fighter is Crawford and you streaming his fight. Now they're saying his pay-per-view numbers are low, and you're part of it. Because had you paid, his numbers would have been better. That's why I'm big on make sure if the fight is worth it, if they're giving you a decent undercard, if they're giving you a decent main event, let's not steal those. You know what I'm saying? If you guys are telling me, oh, I'm streaming Luis Ortiz versus Charles Martin, I'm not gonna argue with you, bro. I'm not gonna condone it. I'm not gonna tell you to do it. I'm not gonna make sure you stream this fight. Don't buy it. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not trying to mess with nobody's money. But if you tell me that, I'm gonna just look the other way. I'm like, hey, if that's what you're doing, that's what you're doing. Now, if you illegally streaming a Crawford or a Spence fight that's a competitive fight and has a decent undercard, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna look down on you. I'm gonna look down, not down on you. I'm gonna look down on that. I'm gonna look down on that. I'm like, come on, bro. That's not cool. That's not cool. You know, these boxes, they putting their life on the line for your entertainment. You know, $75 for a fight that you feel is worth $75 isn't unreasonable. And Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is worth as much money as it could, you know, and potentially it's holding the fight up. It's holding the fight up. Had there been a lot less illegally streams for Terence Crawford's last fight against Sean Porter, we might have had the fight. Had that last fight sold 500,000. You don't think that fight against Errol Spence and Terence Crawford would be more makeable because his numbers would be better? But unfortunately, a lot of people do steal. So I don't want to ignore that part of the article. But all right. So this is as a matter of fact, I'm gonna screen share this part because this part is important. All right. Boom. So he goes, and the number, I'm going to highlight it too, in case for you guys. And the numbers won't be enough to get him what he wants. I don't know what the number is, but I would think that that number would be very high. I'm not involved in those talks, but that's just looking at the sport historically, and I don't think he should be insulted. Meaning, the number you bring that the numbers you're bringing to the table as far as negotiating is not going to justify the numbers that you want financially. Like you're going to want what, probably 10 million guaranteed, 50% on the pay-per-view, when your numbers are not going to justify PBC making their money back after paying you $10 million. Because if they got to pay you $10 million, they at least got to pay Errol Spence the same amount of money. And then on top of that, they're going to have to split 50-50 the pay-per-view buys when you're not the one who's bringing more of the fans, is more Errol Spence. That's how they look at it on their side. I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong, but that's what's going on in the sport. People are now saying, PBC is saying, listen, you're just not a draw. We actually do think you're a great fighter, as you saw there. He's like, he's a great champion. I don't doubt his skill. It's just the guy's not a draw. A pay-per-view draw. That's probably the better way to put it, because he does sell tickets, and he sold tickets in New York, sold tickets in Nebraska, sold tickets in Vegas. The guy's a draw. He's just not a pay-per-view draw. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Sanchez, working, bro. Still watching content. Just can't make it to the live stream all the time. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming to this one. It's gonna be a good one today, man. It's gonna be a good one today. I got a good interview coming on. Matter of fact, let me put the link in the description for you guys that want to call before I get this guy on. Let me pin it to the top of the chat. But if you guys want to click it anyways, click it right there. You could call in and we could have a conversation. Y'all know I love it when y'all call in. We could have a conversation. If you want to get something off your chest about Jaime Munguia being a ducker or anything else, you know, you guys could call in. You could talk about anything you guys want, man. But yeah, the link is pinned to the top of the chat right now. What? I haven't done it. Now it is. Link is pinned to the top of the chat. So if you guys want to call in, just click that link. You guys know we can have a conversation whether you agree or disagree. Nowadays, you got to be more than just a good boxer. Got to be entertaining as well. I mean, but Crawford is entertaining. Crawford has scored 10 knockouts in a row. Crawford's entertaining. And Crawford's a good trash talker, but he's such a real dude. You have to get it out of him. He's not somebody who's just going to trash talk just to trash talk. Like, I feel like Mayweather at times, like he really had no bad blood against Maidana, but he was still trash talking him. You understand what I'm saying? Because he wanted to sell the fight. And I'm not even knocking that about Mayweather. But Crawford's not somebody who's going to do that. We seen him in the Sean Porter fight against, what's his name? When Sean Porter fought Crawford, Crawford wasn't really trash talking him because he goes, hey, I got nothing bad to say about him, man. He's a good dude. You know, we know each other since the amateurs. That's just not his style. He's not a fake dude. He's a real dude. If he's going to talk trash, it's because he really doesn't like you. Now, with the Jose Benavidez situation, if you guys remember, he went to one of Jose Benavidez's press conferences and was like, listen, calm down before he goes and worry about your fight before you don't make it to your fight. Like letting them know, like, yo, my man, you pumping up too much. You got to fight tomorrow. Focus on that before you don't make it to the fight because I'm going to fuck you up. It paraphrasing what he was trying to say. He didn't actually say that. But point is, Terence Crawford talks shit. It's just you got to push him. And I do feel it's gotten personal enough between him and Errol Spence that he'll talk trash and he'll try to sell the fight. But as far as in the ring, he's entertaining as any other fighter. Again, he's knocked out 10 fighters in a row. I don't know anybody who doesn't find knockouts entertaining. I got Mike Tyson behind me. And yeah, you guys can say, oh, you're biased because I'm from Brooklyn and Tyson's from Brooklyn. And that's part of it. But at the same time, you're probably a Tyson fan too because he was knocking motherfuckers out. And that don't matter where you from. If this dude's Terence Crawford's from Omaha, Nebraska, I'm a fan. I really don't care where he's from. He's entertaining. He scored knockouts. He's the best finisher I've ever seen since Felix Trinidad. All jokes aside, and I don't mean that lightly. Since Felix Trinidad, that Terence Crawford has been the best finisher I've ever seen. I heard Andrade is fighting Zach Parker now. I did not hear that. I heard that he's fighting Johnny Beck. He fought on the undercard of the. He fought on the undercard of Sean Porter, Terence Crawford. That Johnny Beck. That's how I heard who's WBO mandatory was going to be. He was gonna fight Zach Parker for a WBO interim to become Canelo's mandatory, but I think he ran out of time, and the WBO ordered the mandatory for the middleweight division, and he's not going to be able to do that. That from last time I heard about that. What do you think about Davis saying he's waiting on Loma? I mean, I don't know if that fight gets made because of Devin Haney's purse demands. Top Rank is not gonna send Lomachenko to the zone. That's just not happening. I'm being honest with you. And then, all right, so why don't Devin Haney go to ESPN? Devin Haney is asking for $3, $4, $5 million. He's not worth that. Now he's getting the zone is giving him that money because they see something in him that I don't, and he's collecting money. And I'm not even gonna knock his hustle, but ESPN doesn't see you as that special. You're not ESPN fighter, so they're not gonna put you on ESPN to fight $3, $4, $5 million to fight Lomachenko. So, as far as what do I think about it? Stylistically, I think Lomachenko wins, but I don't think he's that dude exactly. Like I don't think that fight gets happen. I don't think that fight gets happen. No. Oh wait, my bad. I thought you was talking about Haney. You talk about Tank Davis. Oh, my bad, bro. Oh, as far as that fight, I think that fight could happen. That's a pay-per-view fight too. That pay-per-view sells. Yeah, because it'll be the first time. My bad. I'm so out of it. It'll be the first time Tank Davis really is in a competitive fight. Is really like that'll be the first time like where people will think it's a 50-50 fight. A lot of people thought the Isaac Cruz, like, oh, he's a decent fighter, but Tank should win. Same thing with Mario Barrios, decent fighter, but Tank should win. This will be the first time where he's fighting somebody where significant amount of people will be picking against Tank Davis. Even if Tank is the favorite, there'll be enough like 30 to 35% of people that are going to pick Lomachenko. So there's money. That pay-per-view sells. I like that fight a lot. Tank Davis versus Lomachenko. I actually made a video when I first started this YouTube page that's one of the fights I really want to see. I think I don't see why ESPN or PBC wouldn't do it. Why would they wouldn't work together? That fight sells at least 400,000 because one, Tank is a big enough draw, and Lomachenko is such a recognizable name in terms for the casuals. Because if you're a casual fan, you at least somewhat familiar with Lomachenko. He fought on HBO back when HBO was the golden standard for boxing. He fights on ESPN, the worldwide leader of sports. A lot of his fights are in New York City and Madison Square Garden, so he's going to be, this is the media capital of the world. So that fight sells. I like that fight. I mean, entertaining, like, yeah, on the mic. Crawford has that, but barely uses it. Yeah, with Crawford, he genuinely has to dislike somebody for him to start really trash talking somebody. Yo, did you see the Subriel Matias fight? Dude is dangerous. Oh, what's up, Jody, by the way? I did see that fight, and yes, he is very dangerous. I do want him to clean up his defense a little bit more, but I do think he improved a lot from the first time he fought that dude. So I like that. I like that fight a lot. I mean, I like him a lot. The fact that he's Puerto Rican, New York is full of Puerto Ricans, so he could bring a lot of fights to New York City. That'll make me excited. I love going to fights just in person as a fan. So, but yeah, no, I like him. He just has to work on his defense before I really give him a stamp of approval. Like, oh, this is my future champion. This is my, prospect to watch. But yeah. Oh shit, nah, Andrade is vacating now. Damn, little bro, I ain't know that. For real? That's crazy. No way. Hemmings versus Spence will definitely sell close to 1 million. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. You got to remember, Terence Crawford has sold the most, 165, 180,000 pay-per-views, the most. To Errol Spence, the most he sold, is 350? That fight, I think, sells 400 to 500,000. I don't think it sells more than that, to be honest with you. It is a fight that's worthy of selling 1 million. That's a good point. Now, if you want to say that, I think it's a fight that's worthy of selling $1 million pay-per-views, but not even Canelo. Canelo versus Caleb Plant, undisputed, sold 800,000. For the lineal heavyweight championship, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, that sold 850. So it's like, how you gonna compare those two? You can't compare Errol Spence to Canelo's popularity, or Errol Spence to a heavyweight championship fight type popularity. That's not how it works. So I don't think it sells 1 million, as much as I think it deserves it. And when you add on top of the fact that people are now illegally streaming, that takes away from the count. So I don't think it sells 1 million, to be honest with you. Watch when Andrade vacates and Jaime tries to go for the vacant. I was hard on Jamal, and I'm still not gonna give him a pass, but I was hard on Jamal. But once I started investigating the amount of ducking that Jaime Munguia has been, this is Jaime Munguia, man. He's let 2 mandatories skip him in the WBO, and he's currently ranked number 1 in the WBC and hasn't exercised his mandatory to fight Jamal. What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? I would have been petitioned with the WBC and be like, listen, I want to fight Jamal. Or I would have went to the WBO. I want to fight Andrade. It's time to get this ball rolling. You was already a former world champion at 154 when you beat Saddam Ali. Like, come on, bro. That, to me, Munguia is the biggest duck in boxing, man. I want to apologize to Jamal Trout. I didn't realize how bad this dude was. Munguia is a crazy ducker. Crazy. I always got to back up my Mexican fighters, but I can't defend him here. Oh, I'm glad you wasn't, because I like you. You know you my guy, man. There's no way you could defend Jaime Munguia, man. Yo, bro, you don't have no belt at 160. And those are big money fights. You don't think you're already into the zone area? The zone be paying they fighters. Boom. So you would have fought Andrade. Just make your request high. Make the fight in LA. Your home, not your hometown, but like where there's a lot of Mexicans. Make the fight in Texas where there's a lot of Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? Leverage your celebrity, leverage your popularity, the fact that you're Mexican and you sell tickets. But you're not doing none of that. And you're not even using the WBC mandatory to fight Charlo, who's rumored to be fighting Canelo next. If I'm him, I'm like, nah, I'm signing up to WBC and go, nah, he's not fighting Canelo. He's fighting me. That's who he's fighting. I'm making memes on him on Instagram and Twitter. And I'm going Instagram live talking trash to Jamal. Or I'm doing something to get a belt. I don't see that type of hunger in Munguia, man. I really don't. Man, Ray Vargas said he's going to exercise his mandatory now that Gary Russell don't got the belt no more. Now, the thing is with Ray Vargas, he had broke his leg. I want to say it was in a car accident or motorcycle accident. So he was out for a while when he was due for the mandatory. So what the WBC did was they maintained his ranking up until he recovered, got a couple fights, and they made Ray Vargas the mandatory in the condition that the winner still has to fight Ray Vargas next. So it's not that he was ducking Gary Russell. He actually did break his leg. But yeah, that fight is most likely the fight we get next. Is going to be Magsayo versus Ray Vargas. And that's an interesting fight. Magsayo is a slugger, but sometimes, I'm not a huge fan, although he won me money. I'm not a huge fan of his skills. And Ray Vargas, a lot of people were high on Ray Vargas before he injured himself. And I didn't like his last performance, but again, he was coming back from a long layoff. So, but we'll see. That's a good fight. Him versus Rosado was a great fight. He for the most fight won. Why wouldn't he fight Andrade or Charlo? Yeah, I don't. The thing is, I just don't think Golden Boy believes in his skills. They don't believe he beats Charlo or Andrade. I think that's what it is, to be honest with you. I think that's what it is. David Benavidez versus David Lemieux is a shitty fight. Yo, you want to know one of my dirty secrets? Yo, when David Lemieux was a prospect, I thought this dude was going to be like legit. He had the Broadway Joel stamp. Me and my brother, we were huge fans of David Lemieux. And his trainer, Russ Abner, I believe, left him. He was saying like, "Oh, he's not fully dedicated and stuff like that." But I was a big fan of David Lemieux coming up. But yeah, that's an uncompetitive fight. That's an uncompetitive fight. But guys, if you guys want to call in, link is pinned to the top of the chat. Just let me know. You guys could call in. Hopefully, my guest come on. Let me send him the link. Let me send him the link now. That way he could hop on and we could have a whole conversation. Telling you, if this dude comes on, you guys are gonna really like this guy. This guy is somebody very passionate. And hold on one second. Boom, I just sent it to him. Let's see. Let's see if he hops on. But yeah, what do y'all think? Y'all think Bud versus Crawford, Bud versus Spence ever happens? Let me know. Let me know in the comment section and if you guys want to call in, because at the end of the day, that quote that the guy gave doesn't it doesn't make me think it does. When he's asked why it hasn't happened, he goes economics. And you don't really want to insult a guy like Terence Crawford, who's a tremendous talent. And I'm not taking anything away from his talent, but he hasn't been built into a pay-per-view star. And then when they ask him about the offers and stuff like that, and his response is, I don't know what his number is, but I would think that the number would be very high. I'm not involved in those talks, but that's just looking at the sport historically. And I don't think he should be insulted. So basically saying is like, if we make an offer, he's not going to think it's a good offer, but that's what he's worth. That's reading between the lines. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. I hope it does, but I don't know, man. Just seems like it's another what if fight. Yeah, man. The thing is that I grew up in the era where fights don't happen. That's my generation of boxing, unfortunately. It really is. My generation of boxing is, oh, I want to see Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko. Didn't get that. Oh, I want to see Joshua versus Wilder. I didn't get that. Oh, I want to see Juanma versus Gamboa. Oh, I didn't get that. Oh, I want to see Mayweather versus Pacquiao. I didn't get it when I wanted it. I got it eventually, and it was still a fight. The fight did play out somewhat how I thought it would. But if it happened earlier, it would have been way more competitive. You can't tell me that 2010 Pacquiao was the same as 2015 Pacquiao. You're just not going to convince me of that. You're not. So that's the type of shit that happens in boxing, man. That's the type of shit that happens in boxing. And I feel like history repeats itself, and that's exactly what it's gonna do. It's gonna repeat itself. And I don't want to talk like this. I don't want to be that guy that brings bad news to the table and be like, we're never gonna get the fight. I don't want to be that guy. But if that's what I think is gonna happen, then hey, I've heard of Errol Spence talk about he's not gonna be boxing for much longer. You know, I've heard that, Terence Crawford, well, he's 34. Like, how much time does he got? Does he have another 2-3 years to wait? I don't know. And is Errol Spence going to move up and wait? Does Terence Crawford move up and wait to chase him? There's a lot of variables here. A lot of variables. And when there's that many variables, I've learned throughout history, through my this era's history, when fighters are on two different sides of the street and when the numbers just aren't right. Like, I remember when Wilder was like, oh, 50-50 AJ, 50-50 with Joshua, 50-50 with Joshua. And it's like, you can't really ask for 50. It just didn't make sense financially. Like, Joshua's bringing more to the table. He had more Twitter followers, more Instagram followers. He sold out Wembley Stadium. He was when he came to Madison Square Garden, he fought, what's his name? He fought Andy Ruiz. It was sold out crowd. Yeah, he lost, but it was still sold out crowd. He's a draw. And at times, Deontay Wilder, I remember when he fought Luis Ortiz here at the Barclays Center, they were giving away tickets. One of my friends was at that fight, and they gave him 12 tickets. That's how much of non-draw he was. He had 12 tickets, great seats, he told me. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You and Box Talk gonna ever chop it up again? Y'all be hilarious sometimes. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if Freddie fucks with me no more. I don't know if Box Talk. I don't know if we friends anymore. I don't know. I would be willing. I would be willing. I don't have no grudge against him or nothing. I don't have no problem with him. But yeah, tell him to hit me up next time you on his live. Do you be on his live, Carlos? If you be, let him know, be like, yo, I want to see you and Broadway Joel again. You guys are cool, and that's it. If he wants to, let him tell him to hit me up. I'm definitely down. He's he's somebody who gets me passionate. I like somebody. I like people who get me passionate and stuff like that. I love boxing. So damn, man. Let's hope. I sent the link to the guy, man. Hopefully he hops on. It's a little worried because I hit him up today. He never responded. All right, whatever. We still got time. The show ain't over. So, but yeah, all right. Now that I got you guys here, I want to show you guys something about Canelo Alvarez. Maybe some of you guys are hip to the news. Maybe some of you guys aren't. But that's why you come to my show, to get informed, man. And I'm about to inform y'all on what's next for Canelo Alvarez. Probably most of y'all favorite fighters, or most of y'all number one pound for pound fighter. So this is on Instagram, ESPN Ringside, their Instagram webpage, Instagram page. Al Haymon's PBC recently extended a one-fight offer to Alvarez for his May 7 defense of his undisputed super middleweight championship against middleweight title holder Jamal Charlo. This is according to Mike Coppinger, who works for ESPN. So this is a legit source. And then Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Boxing proposed a two-fight deal that would pit Canelo versus light heavyweight title holder Dimitri Bivol on May 7th, per sources. The second fight, a long-awaited trilogy battle between Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin on September 17th, but this time at 168 pounds for Alvarez's 4 belts. Now, which deal are you making? Let me know. Which deal are you making? Are you taking that PBC deal and fighting Charlo at 168? It's a one-fight deal, so after that, you're free to go. Or are you taking that two-fight deal, moving up to 75, fighting Bivol, then moving back down to 68 and fighting Triple G, your old nemesis? Which one are you doing? I don't know. I don't know which one you guys think is the best decision, but at the end of the day, that's put it like this. He doesn't have a bad offer on the table, because both of those offers are for big money. Canelo made 40 million in his last fight plus pay-per-view. I can Eddie Hearn match that? How much is he willing to give him for a Dimitri Bivol fight? Or and a Gennady Golovkin fight? Are they paying him 45 million, 50 million? I don't know if the zone got that bag like that. I don't know if they're not spending like how they used to. They still spending money. They overpaying the shit out of Devin Haney. But nah, I don't see them paying 45 million, 50 million for Canelo to fight Dimitri Bivol. I mean, the second fight on that deal is September 17th against Triple G. That's a good fight. That's a big money fight. So I don't mind. I wouldn't mind that fight, but as far as which offer he should take is interesting. Let me know in the comment section. Oh, I got a caller. My man Carlos. Carlos, what's up, man?
Yo, what's up, man? How you been?
I've been good, man. You've been missing.
Shit, man. I know it's I
Work.
be I be getting scared. Yeah, bro, work and school on Wednesdays. Sometimes it gets a little bit heavy. So, but hey, I'm glad to be here.
You in school? What you studying?
I mean, shit, I'm still in high school, bro.
Oh, you still in high school? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Oh shit. Oh, okay. That's what's
My
up.
last year though. Yeah, bro. I'm just trying to finish it because I can't fucking stand it no more. But yeah.
Nah, do your thing. Do your thing. So what's up, bro? What you think of the topics I'm talking about? Oh, you got a question?
Nah, I mean, shit. We can talk about both of them, the Errol Spence and the Crawford one, and obviously the Canelo one. I definitely want to get into that one as well. But
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
Spence and
Whatever.
Crawford
It's your
one,
call, baby. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's talk about Spence Crawford
nah, for
first.
sure.
You think that fight ever happens?
Bro, honestly, the way it's going right now, man, it's kind of leaning in the direction that it's probably not gonna happen. But at the same time, like I'm really, really optimistic that it does happen. Like we'll see. I just hope it's not one of those cases that it happens when like Crawford's like 37 and fucking Spence is like 34 or some shit like that. Like when they're really old. That's probably when it's most likely gonna happen.
We
And
waited
the
long
fucking fight.
enough. We
I
waited long
know, bro,
enough.
but for real, man, that fight should have happened like 2, 3 years ago already, man. When they were both like, I mean, they're still both in their prime, but that's when they really should have happened. But it is what it is. I mean, as long as it happens this year, then that's all that matters.
No, I listen. That car accident for me took a little bit amount of luster in the fight because after that car accident, there's no way I'm picking against Crawford. You know what I'm saying? This guy's
Yeah,
been through injuries, and Crawford's a hard hitter. You know, like I don't know how much is he willing to give up of his body. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
I think Crawford may even stop Errol Spence just because
yeah,
that constant punching, and you already been through a life-changing experience in that car accident. Are you really willing to go through that life-changing experience in the ring as well? I don't know.
for
I
real,
know
man.
Crawford is.
Definitely. Shit, man. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be honest though, Errol Spence, whenever he fought Danny Garcia, I thought he was gonna be like an easy decision. He looked fucking good in that fight, man. I
He
know that was
did.
like
He
already
did.
almost 2 years ago, but he looked really, really good in that fight. So I don't know. Maybe he can shock us against Crawford. I mean, to me, it wouldn't be that much of a surprise if he wins that fight because he has a good
No,
style to
he's a
beat
good fighter.
Crawford.
He's a good fighter.
But I don't know, man. I think Crawford he could stop him. I mean, that fight against Sean Porter, man. Like he stopped Sean Porter. No one's ever stopped Sean Porter. So, and the way he did it as well, like after he dropped him again very easily. So, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, man. It's
Yeah.
really good.
I ain't like the stoppage in that Crawford Porter fight, but I feel like
Yeah,
this dude would eventually got the stoppage anyway, man. He was already rolling. He was already throwing these punches, those hard punches, man. I think he would have
yeah,
got him.
for sure, man. But hey, speaking about the Canelo thing, you saw that too, right? He had like 2 offers.
Yeah, I just screen shared it. So the first offer is a 1-fight deal with Jamal Charlo, and the second offer is Dimitri Bivol on May 7th, and then on September 17th, it would have been it's Triple G.
Yeah, I mean, for me, even though the second one is the one that's most likely like the better one to choose, I really, really want to see him shut Jamal Charlo up because this dude talks too much, man. Especially on the. Did you? I don't know if you saw the Showtime, the one him versus Caleb Plant, like whenever
Yeah, he was
the
saying that he could beat
epilogue.
Canelo. I remember he
He's
was
like,
like, "Oh, I
"Oh,
could beat
bro,
Canelo."
yeah," like he was saying, "Oh, Canelo got tired, man. I could beat Canelo," and you heard not a fucking word from him whenever Canelo stopped Caleb Plant. He didn't say a damn thing. He left that arena quick, man. Nah, bro, trust me. He's Canelo would whoop his ass easily.
Yo,
Not easily, but he whoop his ass.
yo, like it's kind of like in the Billy Joe Saunders fight. Like Billy Joe won like 3 or 4 rounds, and people were like, "Oh my god, he's giving Canelo trouble." And then it's like people forget Canelo can knock you the fuck out with one punch, and that's exactly what he basically
Exactly.
did with Billy Joe. He broke his face. Like
Nah, man,
Canelo
that's
really,
worse, bro.
yeah. Canelo got power. Canelo got boxing IQ. He got skills. He has everything. Now, did Caleb Plant have success? Yeah, but you don't think Canelo was allowing him so that way he opens up?
Yeah.
And Canelo was
Nah, for
breaking
sure.
him down with those body shots, man. Like he really fucked him up to the body.
Yeah, I remember it, and in that fucking what's it called? In that fight, I remember Canelo hit him with the body shot, and I literally saw Caleb Plant like kind of wheeze over, like oh shit, like he didn't want to show like he was in pain, but you could tell like one of those body shots, like before he got the knockout, it really really fucking hurt him. Like you could literally tell, like in that moment, he's like oh shit, like he took that body shot, he didn't want to go down, so you gotta respect that. But yeah, that first one, man, I would really want to see that just to see him fuck up Jamal Charlo and humble
So
him.
if you want him to take the PBC deal, that 1-fight PBC deal against Charlo,
Yeah, because I mean, the first dude, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, bro. I'm sorry. The
Bivol?
Yeah, Bavot, yeah, that guy. I mean, he doesn't really talk that much trash, at least from what
No,
I
and
know.
he's a boring fighter, man. You seen his last fight? I'm like, come on, man. I don't
Yeah,
want to
he'll
see
be
that
more
fight.
humble and respectful. And then Triple G, I mean, their rivalry, it's always gonna be cool. I mean, it's not like Triple G's gonna talk so much trash because he hasn't fought that much since the Canelo fight. He's only
No,
fought
but
like
there's a
what, 3 times.
storyline with the Triple G fight. There's a
Yeah,
storyline, the fact that they fought twice. Some people think Canelo lost both fights. A lot of people think he lost the first fight specifically. And so I
definitely.
think
Yeah,
there's a storyline. Now that fight, I actually am interested. If I'm
me
Canelo,
too.
if I'm Canelo, I take the one fight in May against Charlo, and then take the one fight in September against Triple G.
Definitely. Yeah,
That's
bro. I
what I
mean,
do.
shit. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, shit. If he does that, bro, I mean, I don't. wa- I know a lot of people already say like he's like a really good fighter and like he's up there. But bro, if he beats Charlo and then beats Triple G, and let's say by the end of the year he goes to 175 and wins a belt there, bro, don't know, bro. You gotta respect that, bro. No fucking question, man. That's some goat shit right there, man.
Yeah, we watching something special, bro. We watching something special here. Like a lot
I
of
still
people.
hope he. My bad.
Okay.
I still just hope he doesn't go to fucking cruiserweight because I just don't like the idea, man. I really don't
Yeah,
want him to go to cruiserweight. It's like, what's the point, man? Like, you don't
I,
ever go
I
to
agree.
cruiserweight.
It's a fight nobody wants to see, and like, yeah, I guess you can say you were whatever 5 division champion, but it's like, come on, bro, that's not a fight the fans want. I represent the consumer. I always talk about the fight for the fans. The fans want to see Charlo. The fans want to see, Triple G or David Benavidez. That's the fight for the fans. Like, and I understand he went undisputed in 11 months, and that was for us, as well as for his legacy. But that's not something we're like clamoring for him to fight a cruiserweight. Fuck around, he could get hurt, even if he wins the fight.
Exactly.
Even if he wins the fight, but ends up getting his tooth knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Because the guy's way
Exactly.
bigger than you. You got to respect, power. I don't know. I don't like that move at all, a cruiserweight move.
Yeah. One thing that like a lot of people were like saying in the comments from the shit that came out about the 2 fight deal was like, "Where's David Benavidez? Where's David Benavidez?" So yeah, I want to see like what's your thoughts on that. Like why David Benavidez wasn't offered.
Well, the thing is with Canelo is he's the type of person that he likes to build upon his legacy and he likes to collect belts. So the reason he's considering to move up to cruiserweight is because the guy got a belt. The reason he went undisputed and he didn't fight Benavidez is because Benavidez didn't have a belt. The reason why he
Yeah.
wasn't offered is Canelo's argument. Eddie Reynoso made a statement is like, who has David Benavidez beat? Like, yeah, he's a tough
Exactly.
guy, but like, no disrespect, but like, he hasn't beaten anybody. There's nobody on his resume where I'm like, oh no, like, wow, that's a really good fighter he beat. He has no Caleb Plants on his record. He has no Charlos on his record. He has no who else? Even a Billy Joe Saunders on his record. Like he's beaten a bunch of B and C and D level fighters, and it's like, and then you want a Canelo fight, even if you are a good looking prospect. It's like, bro, you don't just get it just to get it. You get it when you earn it. You know what I'm saying? Let him fight some of these
For
guys.
real,
That's why
man.
he's been calling for Charlo, but Charlo doesn't seem to want that smoke.
Nah, man. Yeah. Shit, man. Let's see, man. But hey, for sure this year it's gonna be an entertaining ass year, man. Regardless, even if let's say Crawford versus Spence doesn't happen, I mean it's gonna suck. But we still got all these other fights. Canelo. We got Tyson Fury maybe fighting Usyk or Anthony Joshua versus Usyk. We got all these fights, man, to still be grateful for. So, that's still pretty good.
Yeah, man. And uh I'm trying to think of some other fight because there's a lot of fighters who don't have a fight right now that we're fans of. Like Josh Taylor's gonna fight Catterall. Who's he gonna fight next? Teofimo when he makes his comeback. Ryan Garcia when he makes his comeback. Tank Davis when he makes his comeback. Devin Haney. There's a lot of fights that we're interested in. Trust me, man.
Yeah,
This year is gonna be a real good year for boxing. It's just everybody fought kind of like in November, December. Like, look, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fought in October. In November, Canelo fought Caleb Plant. Porter fought what's his name? Crawford.
Crawford.
Teofimo fought Cambosos. In December, Tank Davis fought Isaac Cruz. Devin Haney fought Jojo Diaz. Jake Paul fought in December. It's like everybody fought at the later of the year. So the beginning of this year is like, well, everybody already fought. So, nobody's fighting, 2 times every 3 months. Is like, that's not what happens. So once it hits April, May, June, man, the boxing schedule is gonna be packed, 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 packed.
Nah, man, for sure. Yeah, bro. But shit, that's basically just about it. What I'm talking about, man. But hey, for real, man, I appreciate you letting me on your show and stuff. And shit, man. You know, wish you nothing but success.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I always fuck with you, man. I appreciate you, my brother.
Nah, for sure, man. Yeah,
All right,
bro,
my
for
man.
sure, man. Take care.
All right. All right, peace. Yeah, man. All right, let me answer some of your questions. I saw some of y'all was talking when I was this is the most overrated matchup in boxing, I believe. Both of these men are overrated. I'm assuming you mean Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, which for that I might have to mute you, bro. You can't. How the hell are they both overrated? Terence Crawford was undisputed at 140. He's on a 10 knockout streak. And Errol Spence beat Sean Porter. He beat Danny Garcia. He beat, I guess, a blown up Mikey Garcia. He beat Chris Algieri. Like these are good fighters. These are good fighters, man. Who you think Canelo will choose from those two deals? I think out of those two, if you're just giving me out of those two deals, I think he takes the PBC deal and fights Jamal Charlo. Triple G will get robbed again. I think he gets knocked out, to be honest with you. I think he gets knocked out. Darrell is a game opponent. He actually was the champ when Benavidez beat him. Yeah, Darrell never moved me. Like Darrell's like kind of opponent. Again, let him beat somebody of note, like somebody like had he beat an Andrade or a Charlo or a Caleb Plant, I would be more impressed. But no. Oh, look, this is another fight that's coming in 2020. Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez, April 30th at the MGM Grand Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Man, I wish I could go to that fight. That's a great unification at 130, the division right below one of the hottest divisions in 135. I like that fight a lot. It's a Mexican versus an American. One guy, I believe, Oscar Valdez was an Olympian as well. So it's two Olympians. Let me double check on that because that could add to the storyline. It's like two guys that have represented their country outside of professional boxing. They're both undefeated fighters. I like the idea of that. Hold on 1 second. Did he fight? Yeah, he fought in 2008. He was a Olympian. He lost in the first round. He represented Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. So I like that fight. It's two former Olympians, two world champions, unification, 130. I like that fight a lot. Chris Colbert versus Roger Gutierrez, February 26th in Vegas, bro, for the WBA Super Featherweight Championship. And on top of that, a lot of people don't know, on the undercard, Gary Antoine Russell fights Victor Postol, man. You're not going to tell me that's not a great card for free on Showtime? Oh, man, yo, boxing is getting hot, man. Boxing is getting hot. Colbert beats the brakes off of Roger Gutierrez. The thing is with Roger Gutierrez is that, with Chris Colbert is, I always worry about his lack of power. Because, like, what happens when all that skill shit ain't working and you got to keep the guy off of you? Now, if you don't have enough power to keep the guy off of you, the guy may be able to bully you. The guy may be able to walk through your punches. And, yeah, you landed 2 punches. He only landed 1. But if the one I landed got you wobbly and the 2 you landed didn't do anything to me, like, that counts for something. I like Chris Colbert. He's from Brooklyn, New York, just like I am. I'm rooting for Chris Colbert. And I think he's going to win, but I just don't want to discount Roger Gutierrez being able to walk through those punches and imposing himself on Chris Colbert. Roger Gutierrez has a good right hand, and I'm not sure about Chris Colbert's chin. Not saying I'm not saying it's bad. Nobody in these Brooklyn streets have told me that, oh, he's chinny and all this. I've never heard none of that. But my point is, if you got somebody who's walking through your punches and landing his, and he has a decent right hand, and he can, let's say, maybe drop you or possibly knock you out, I don't want to totally discount Gutierrez, But I agree. I got Chris Colbert winning that. Chris Colbert has pop. He has one punch knockouts before he just likes to outbox you. I don't know. That's one thing. That's one thing in the New York area that's always been talked about. Like, oh, he's great, just lacks power. So it's something that's haunted him even since the amateurs. And he's even said in previous fights before, like, listen, I know I'm not a puncher. I know I'm not a puncher, which is why he boxed so well. Although he did get that stoppage. Was it 2 fights ago? I forget who he fought to. Like, it was like 2-3 fights ago. He got a stoppage, and it was a pretty like dog type stoppage too. He was like brawling with the guy and everything, and got the guy out of there, which impressed me a lot. So, hold on, I'm pulling up his box rec right now. So he's 16-0 with 6 knockouts. Yeah, and 2 fights ago he stopped Jaime Arboleda, a guy who was 16-1 at the time. He had been stopped before, so but again, 16-1, you only been stopped once, and he's won 2 fights in a row after his loss since then. So I do want to say I was impressed with that stoppage that Chris Colbert have, but again, he himself has admitted, like, hey, listen, I don't really have power like that. I don't really have power. Like, so if I heard him say shit like that, like, what do you think this dude is saying? What do you think is gonna happen when somebody is able to walk through your punches? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that happens in boxing. I'm trying to think of a situation like that where somebody who had talent just couldn't punch, and because he couldn't punch, didn't go further. I'm trying to think. Of somebody. I can't really think off the top of my head, but yeah. I do admit I was worried when Chris Colbert couldn't drop Tug Nyambar. Yeah, I don't want to say that worried me. I guess you know why it didn't worry me is because I know he wasn't a puncher. But since I knew he wasn't a puncher, I wasn't expecting. But I did like his performance against Tug. He did had a good performance. I thought he came away looking impressive. The scores were 118, 110, 118, 110, and 117, 111. So he won by pretty wide margin, and we just seen. But then again, how good is Tug? Tug just got a draw with a guy who took a fight on short week notice. I don't know. But yeah, guys, if you guys want to call in, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. You guys can call in whether you agree or disagree. All is well with me. For those of you that just hopped on, Canelo has 2 offers on the deal, one by PBC, one by DAZN. The PBC is a 1-fight deal for Jamal Charlo, May 7th. The DAZN deal is a May 7th against Dimitri Bivol and September 17th against Triple G at 168. Those are the 2 offers that he has on the table. But what I want to know is, when is Bob Arum gonna put his foot in that name? When's it gonna promote this? Send him an offer. You got there's really only 3 players in boxing. There's DAZN, there's PBC, and there's ESPN. And the representatives for DAZN is Matchroom Boxing and Eddie Hearn. PBC is Al Haymon, and ESPN is Bob Arum. When is Bob Arum gonna share his offer? When is he has Joe Smith and he has Archer Better Beef? You know what I'm saying? When's he gonna offer those guys for him? This guy got two offers on the table from 2 rival promoters. Put your guys up there too, man. Put him an offer. Who knows? He may come to you. He may like Top Rank. He may like ESPN. I'm not saying he does or he doesn't, but don't sell yourself short by not sending an offer. That would be some bullshit. Do you think Joe Smith and Archer will unify? I don't. I would hope so, to be honest with you. And to be honest, I don't see why that fight can't happen. They're both on the same side of the street. They both have belts, and Joe Smith has said that he would rather be undisputed than to get a Canelo fight. So he wants to unify. Arthur Beterbiev is WBC and IBF champion, so he's unified twice. I mean, he's unified already before. I don't see why he wouldn't be willing. And that's a great fight. 2 power punches, two offensive fighters in a 175-pound division. I like that fight a lot. And so, yeah, I do think it happens. Does it happen next? I'm trying to think. Barring, barring either fighter getting a Canelo fight, I don't see why it doesn't happen next. The only thing is I would say is Top Rank has a history of fucking wanting to marinate and wanting to wait out a fight and try to make it the fight as big as possible when it's like, bro, just make the fights and things will get better. So I want to say yes. I want to be positive. I'm already saying that Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence is never going to happen. So I'll answer your question. Yes, I do think they'll unify. And that honestly is my opinion. I just don't know if it's next. What is your opinion on Subriel Matias? I already spoke on him, but I'll speak on him briefly again. I think he's really good. I think the power's legit. I just think he needs to work on a couple things. His defense. I do think he needs to work on shifting his angles a little bit. I feel like sometimes he's straight up and down in terms of coming forward. I do think he needs to be strategic with his punch placement. But I like him. I like him. He has good. He has heart. It looked like he was in way better shape this fight, and I know he has power. So I like Matias. I like Matias a lot. Joe Smith wants that Bivol rematch, but unfortunately, Zurdo Ramirez is mandatory for Bivol and will take Bivol's belt. Joe Smith lost to Bivol before. He wants a rematch, but they're not on the same side of the street. So it just makes more sense for him to fight Better Beef. If he wins that fight, it'll make it a lot more easy, and he'll have a lot more leverage when he goes into negotiations with Bivol to get him on that ESPN side. And as far as you saying Zurdo Ramirez beating Bivol, I don't think that happens. I think Bivol outboxes Zurdo Ramirez. I don't like what I saw from Zurdo Ramirez in his last fight. I'm not a big fan of him, I'll be honest with you. So I think Bivol is going to outbox him and beat him. What do you think about Tio training with Reynoso? I mean, I haven't heard that rumor. Have you? I don't know. If you have, send me that article. But I would love it. I would love it. And I don't want to say he has to get rid of his father because that's a fucked up situation. Your father brought you all the way up to here. You take one loss and you fire him. But I do think his father needs help, man. His father needs help as far as training him and wants to make sure. Like I feel like Eddie Reynoso will get him to do little tricks of the trades that he hasn't been doing, how to set traps and how to break a fighter down, how to set up the knockout, as opposed to in the Cambosos fight when he just came and he was just throwing wild punches to go in a straight fight, So I like the pairing, but I haven't heard that rumor that that's true. I would love it. I would love it if that was true. Bivol isn't a modern-day American diva, Joel. He will take the unification match against Joe Smith. No, it's not a matter of if he'll take it. It's a matter of politics. He fights on DAZN. Joe Smith fights on ESPN. Bob Arum is not going to put that belt in the hands of DAZN for them to possibly win it. He'd rather keep that fight, have him fight Better Beef. So the winner automatically is still going to be on the ESPN side, and he'll have 3 out of the 4 belts in the lightweight division on the ESPN side. That's what it is. It's more like politics as opposed to like, oh, he's scared or he's ducking. I don't think that's what it is. Punch Drunk had insight in his members only. His fathers will still be in the corner. Man, shout out to Punch Drunk if that's true. If that's true, I love it. I love it. I don't like it. I love it. I love it. He could spar there. There's a lot of good sparring there. Even Ryan Garcia trains there, so he could spar Ryan Garcia. He could even spar Oscar Valdez. Obviously maybe not go all out since he's bigger than Valdez, but he could spar Oscar Valdez. There's a lot of good, work over there, and he seems to get along really, really well with Canelo. Canelo seems somebody who's very willing to give his knowledge. You've seen him helping Ryan Garcia. You've seen him helping Andy Ruiz. You've seen him helping Frank Sanchez. I like that whole camp. So him going over there would be nothing but good things. I'll be honest with you. So I'm looking forward to that. If that's true, what you're saying that Punch Drunk told you, I hope you're right. I hope you're right because I love that. I love that pairing. Top Rank has no say, especially if Joe and Bivol contact WBO, WBA, and WBO for unification. Man, that's not happening, bro. You don't go over your boss's head. That's just a rule of life. You don't do that. And rule of life is not like if your supervisor tells you to do something, you don't go to his boss and go like, "Oh, this is what he told me to do." Because then if you make your supervisor look bad, your supervisor will take it out on you later in life. That's just how life works. So if you go over the head of your promoter to get the fight, they're not gonna like that. That's why Bob Arum was talking so much shit to what's his name, to Teofimo, for not taking the Lomachenko fight and instead taking the unification, the fighting his mandatory in Cambosos. A promotion company can't trump sanction about it, bro. Did you just start watching boxing, bro? Like, we all know promotional companies is what runs boxing, brother. Trust me. And it just why would he fight Bivol instead of fighting Beterbiev, who has 2 belts and is the lineal lightweight champion, the light heavyweight champion? I don't see why he would do that. That would make no sense to me. It would make more sense to me is he fight Artur Beterbiev for the lineal championship. He'll have 3 out of the 4 belts. He'll have the leverage in negotiations against Bivol or whoever Bivol fights and loses to. And then boom, and you can be like, hey, listen, I got 3 out of the 4 belts and I'm lineal. I want whatever, this amount of money. And I'm going to give you whatever, X amount of money. Come on, man. Joe doesn't want to fight Beterbiev. He just doesn't want that fight. He wants Canelo or Bivol. I have heard him say that he really wants to avenge that Bivol loss. I have heard that, so I'm not going to lie to you. But I've never heard him say he's not willing to take the Beterbiev fight. I've never heard him say that. I hope this is true, but Eddie Reynoso have too many fighters, in my opinion. That's true, but I feel like that. But that's why they saying like Teofimo's father's still gonna be in his corner. Because even if Teofimo's father learns from Eddie Reynoso and what he does and how he performs, that alone will be good for him. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, now your father has been trained by a trainer, because his father really is just a guy who watched boxing, was a big boxing fan, to put his son into boxing. I don't feel like his father, really knows 100% what he's doing. I'm not saying he knows nothing, because his son was literally lineal lightweight champion. So it's like he knows what he's doing, but he just needs a little bit more help. He needs to learn how to give instructions in the corner, and maybe being around Eddie Reynoso, an experienced trainer, he can learn something himself. I like that fight. I really, really do. I mean, I like that pairing, that pairing of training. Tio probably going to fight Arnold Barboza or Jose Cepeda. Good fights, but her too. But very tough. I think he's going to fight, I don't know. The thing is, if it's me, I'm giving him a soft touch. I'm giving him Cletus Selden. I'm giving him Cletus Selden is ranked in a couple sanctioned bodies. Don't laugh at me. And Cletus Selden from Brooklyn, you could sell that out in Madison Square Garden, man. Give him Cletus Selden. That's who I'm going with. Hold on. Where's Cletus Selden ranked? I'm gonna get y'all the rankings right now, man. Hold on 1 second. I'm giving T.O. a soft touch, man. He really got roughed up in that fight. That was a tough fight for him. He was bleeding, was cut. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Where's Cletus Selden is ranked number 8 in the WBA. And then let me see where else he's ranked. He's ranked number 14 in the IBF. And yeah, why not fight there? And that's it. But why not fight Cletus Selden? It makes sense. You guys both from Brooklyn. Like, the fight sells. Nah, give him Sando Martin. Yo, dudes got jokes today. They got jokes today. If you're not making any money, you have to take risks making your own moves. American promoters are against American fighters. Why? Because they don't believe they sell better than guys from others. That's not true because is Artur Beterbiev this superstar that they have to protect and he's such a ticket seller and he's a pay-per-view draw? He's not American. So, and Joe Smith in New York, he sells tickets. He sells tickets in New York. He's not a nobody. Teofimo Sr. knows nothing about boxing. He just has a very talented son who is also weight bully for that 135 division. He rehydrates to 160. I don't want to say he knows nothing about boxing, bro. Like that's a bit harsh. That's a bit harsh. I'm just saying, like, look what Teofimo did against Lomachenko. Like you can say, oh yeah, Teofimo's just that talented, but that's not true. He has to have been trained. He had some preparation going into the fight, and if the guy who prepared him is your father, you can't say you don't know nothing about boxing. Now, can you say his son is super talented? He overcomes the deficiencies that his father brings, but to say he knows nothing and brings nothing to the table, I think it's a bit unfair, to be honest with you. Plus, Ryan Garcia, in my opinion, is going to move on in weight. I think sooner than later. Nah, I don't think that. I don't think that's true. I've never heard him complain about weight, or he still hasn't even been champion at 135. So it's like, if he hasn't been champion at 135, like, why would he move up? It makes no sense. Get a belt or two at 135, then move up. Sandor Martin and Mikey rematch so Sandor can outbox him again. That was funny. I have no interest in that, to be honest with you. I don't have no interest in Mikey Garcia because Mikey Garcia has proved to me that he's not taking the sport serious. Mikey Garcia has proven to me that this dude is how do I say? Like, he's just in it for the money. Like, he's not in it for the glory. He's not in it to become unified, and he's not willing to take short money to make the fight and do this and do that. He's just in it for the biggest paycheck. And God bless him. God bless him. I'm not knocking his hustle. I'm just saying I have no interest in seeing him fight because after that last performance, it proved to me that he doesn't want to fight. He's not motivated to stay in the sport. Can anybody tell me about this David Avanesian hype? He's 28, 3-1 at 33 years old, and he's never been a champ, and he got stopped by Mean Machine. I don't know what hype you've been hearing. I don't know anybody who's been very high on David Avanesian. But David Avanesian isn't a bum, though. David Avanesian could fight. I believe he's ranked, is it number 2 in the WBC in the welterweight division? I believe he's ranked number 2. Let me double check that. But yeah, so he's in line for a title shot sooner rather than later. Yeah, he's ranked number 2 in the WBC. So, yeah. David best win is Grandpa Shane Mosley. He stopped Josh Kelly. All right. Mikey Garcia was never all that. He won vacant belts and beat overrated Easter Jr. He beat Broner, blatantly ducked Loma. Could you imagine the beating Loma would have given Mikey? My goodness. Yo, bro, David Benjamin, you my guy. Believe me, you always come and you always active in the chat. What the fuck are you talking about, my brother? Michael Garcia is a Hall of Famer. Michael Garcia beat the shit out of Orlando Salido. You know who's Orlando Salido? The guy who beat Lomachenko. Mikey Garcia in his prime would have knocked out Lomachenko. You must be out your mind, bro. Mikey Garcia. Let me go through Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia is like a 4-division world champion. Yo, bro, you are bugging. You bugging on this one, man. Mikey Garcia was a beast in his prime. He beat Roman Gonzalez. He beat not Roman Gonzalez. What's his name? Let me get the names right now. I'm pulling up his box rack. Roman Martinez, my bad. He beat Juanma Lopez. Yo, this dude got names on his resume, man. I'm trying to see. He beat Lipinets, Jesse Vargas. I'm trying to see how many division world champion he is. He's See, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-division world champion, bro. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Mikey Garcia is a Hall of Famer. You are bugging out, man. David Avenigio is a Luis Collazo. You can never count them out. Always dangerous. That's an insult to Luis Collazo. Luis Collazo was a world champion, bro. David Avenigio is not there yet for you to compare him to him. All right. That's Cap. Mikey was good. Exactly. Yeah, he fried Loma, ducked Mikey. No, neither ducked anybody. Y'all rewriting history. Let's not rewrite history. What happened was Mikey Garcia was at the end of his Top Rank deal. And his last fight, he wanted Lomachenko. So what Top Rank said was like, hey, sign an extension and we'll give you the Lomachenko fight and the Gamboa fight. That was two big fights in 135 at that time. Or 130 was it? I think it was at 130, those fights. And Mikey Garcia was like, nah, just give me the fights and I'm not signing an extension. So there was like, so Bob Arum was like, all right, I'm not going to give you the contract. So he was like, all right, so fuck it. That's what happened. It wasn't because Mikey Garcia was scared, and it wasn't because Lomachenko was scared. I think Mikey Garcia would have knocked out Lomachenko, and I have no doubt in my mind about that. I have zero. Nah, Mikey Garcia was a beast, man. I just wish he didn't fight Spence. I just don't get it still. Yeah, you know what it is? He was fighting at 135, and the fights that were good at 135 were Terence Crawford, Gamboa, and Lomachenko, and they were all with Top Rank. Then at 140, he didn't want to fight Jose Ramirez, who was training with his brother and is also with Top Rank. And same thing with Josh Taylor. He's with Top Rank. So he was like, you know what? Where am I going to go to make money? Then he moved up 2 weight divisions to fight Spence. That's what happened. Yeah. Mikey Garcia is one of the most overrated boxers of this generation. You bugging out. Mikey won vacant belts, and every time Loma moved up, Mikey moved up. Straight duck Loma. Bro, I don't know what drugs you took today, and I really don't know. Bro, he beat the shit out of Orlando Salido. Beat the shit out of him. A guy who beat Lomachenko. What are you talking about? You bugging out. Yo, let's change the topic. David Benjamin, you out here looking crazy, man. You out here looking crazy. I don't agree with this, but Loma is one of the most overrated. I don't agree with that. Loma's a great fighter too. Mikey definitely didn't want Terence Crawford. No cap. Laugh out loud. Nah, I don't believe that's true. If he fought Errol Spence, you don't think he would have fought Crawford? You know, they actually fought in the amateurs, and Crawford beat Mikey. But I don't think he was scared. Mikey has never beaten an elite undefeated boxer in his career. Undefeated doesn't mean shit, bro. He beat Orlando Salido when Orlando Salido was elite. When Orlando Salido was a great fighter, he beat him. He beat Juanma Lopez. He wasn't in his prime at the time, I'll be honest. And Mikey Garcia did miss weight, but still, he beat him. He beat Roman Martinez, a Puerto Rican guy who was a tough guy. Who he also fought. Roman Martinez also fought, if I'm not mistaken, Lomachenko, right? Didn't he? Yeah, he got stopped by Lomachenko as well. So they both stopped him. I'll be fair. Lomachenko did stop him earlier. Now who else beat Lomachenko? Adrian Broner, Sergey Lipinets, Robert Easter Jr., Jesse Vargas. Again, 4-division world champion, bro. You gotta give the man credit. You gotta give the man credit, man. What, bro? Salido broke his nose and Mikey quit. You know what's funny? I was actually at that fight. That was in Madison Square Garden. I was at that fight. He broke his nose with a headbutt, and he didn't make him quit. The doctor stopped the fight. Come on, man. Like, you out here crazy. You bugging out today, man. This man delusional, David Benjamin. Please stop. That's exactly what I want to say, because I actually like this kid, man. You bugging out. Listen, I like Lomachenko. You act like I'm shitting on Lomachenko. What I'm saying is neither ducked each other. It was a matter of politics why that fight didn't happen. And if the fight would have happened, Mikey Garcia would have knocked him out. It would have knocked him out. He would have. And you taking credit over that that Guillermo Rigondeaux win? Come on, bro. Guillermo Rigondeaux had moved up a bunch of weight classes to fight. He's fighting at 118 now. Come on, man. Don't take credit for that dumbass win. Fuck out of here, man. Mikey versus Terence Crawford before the Errol Spence fight would have been a hell of a fight. Yeah, I totally agree. Unfortunately, due to politics, it couldn't happen. Who are your top 5 fighters right now? My top 5 fighters right now. Number 1, Canelo. Number 2, I'm gonna have to go Usyk. I've been shitting on Usyk and putting him 3, but I gotta give him credit. I'm gonna give him 2. Number 3, I'm gonna go Bud Crawford. Number 4, I'm gonna go Inoue, and number 5, I'm gonna go Josh Taylor. Yo, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna end this. I'm not even gonna talk about all this shit, man, because you looking crazy out here, David Benjamin. I don't want this live to live in history because I'm gonna leave this on YouTube forever. I don't want you looking crazy. I don't want the boxing historians coming back to this live and going like, "Damn, who's this dude, David Benjamin? This dude don't know shit about boxing. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Mikey Garcia is way better. Has a way better resume than Lomachenko. Like, come on. Like, you got to pay attention, brother. Pay attention. But yo, guys, if you guys want to call in, including you, David Benjamin, who obviously has a strong opinion that I disagree with, the link is pinned to the top of the chat. Feel free to call in. Unfortunately, my guest today is not coming in. I sent them the link. I was worried he wasn't going to come on because I had sent them the link. I had texted him earlier like, yo, what's up? Let me send him a message now. Yeah, so I had sent him a message. He never responded, so I was a little worried, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Mikey is a solid fighter, solid boxer. I don't hate the dude at all. I mean, you don't have to hate him, but you just obviously has a bad opinion on him. You must have had a lot of things to do the days he fought. Yo, Mikey Garcia, at one point, I was like, damn, this dude is skilled, man. He's such a sharp puncher, didn't waste punches. He was a fantastic boxer to watch. If you really have nothing to do one day, watch some of Mikey Garcia's fights. You're not going to tell me that's not one of the best boxers you've ever seen. He kind of reminds me somewhat of not necessarily in style, but in terms of credit he gets, like a Gary Russell. Gary Russell is a fantastic fighter. He just never really got the full credit because he didn't fight enough and he didn't have the right opponents. And I kind of feel that about Mikey Garcia. Not that he didn't fight enough, but had he re-signed with Top Rank that one last time and fought Gamboa, fought Terence Crawford, and fought Lomachenko, he could have got a real good buzz out of that. Oh, hold on 1 second. Yo, Bernie, I see you on. He says you need to connect your mic and your cam and your camera before I put you on. But my guest is here, guys. Thank goodness. I'm excited for him. He's a real good dude. Yo, Bernie, I don't know if you can hear me, but it says you need to connect your camera and your mic. So I don't know if you're on the website and it's asking you access for your camera and your mic. Damn, he hopped off. Hopefully he hops back on because I really want to get this interview off. Hold on 1 second. I kind of left my notes in my living room. Let me text my girl to bring me. Yeah, man, this kind of planning on the cuff. Hold on, guys. I'm about to have a guest on, so guys, please don't leave. All right. There we go. Bernie, what's up?
Bernie, what's up, my brother? What's good? What's good?
Yeah, so guys, for you guys who don't know who this is, there's hold on. There's like an echo going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm in the car waiting on my son to come out to practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, for the guys who don't know, this is Bernie, Bernie the boxer. Damn, why is that echo? Do you have me playing on your car or something?
Yeah, I'm in the car. Okay, I'll take it off. I'll take it off.
Disconnect the Bluetooth. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yep, this me. What's good?
Yeah, I'm very excited to have you here, man. You were very passionate bud, friend, and trainer.
Yes,
so
sir.
The fact that you here sharing your time and with me, I'm very happy for.
Nice.
All right, so
Appreciate you for having me on.
What? Anytime, brother. How did you meet Bud?
Me and Bud, we start 1995. We met at the CW boxing gym.
Okay.
He was 7 and I was 13, turning 14.
Did you know he was gonna be this good?
No, like I say, he was just one of the kids from the neighborhood that was starting out just like everybody else.
Okay. Man, I recently saw your interview with on the Boxing Voice, and man, you showed a lot of passion and stuff like that. What is Bud like a little brother to you? Like, because your relationship seems real close. You seem very passionate about him.
Yeah, but if you with me, you with me. It don't matter, So, but yeah. That's been my boy. Like I say, I'm really into love boxing, and everybody knows how I love the history of boxing and how I took my boxing career, amateur and pro, serious. And so, when I seen him doing that, it just gravitated to him, and then we in the gym working every day. So it just like, it's a lot of people that come in the gym, but you necessarily don't mesh with them because, just different things. But like I say, I seen his work ethic and I seen his talent, and we just go from there.
All right. As far as him and Spence fighting, how frustrated is it for you and for him that's a big fight, for both sides, and it just seems like for whatever reason it's not coming off?
Yeah. Like I say, it can be frustrating on one hand, but at the same time, he's accomplished a lot already in the sport. So, it's just like anything that you're doing. When you get to a level, whatever the situation is, if the other person ain't willing, what else can you do? You ain't. I won't say you're not kissing no ass, but you didn't. Like I say, we here now. If you don't want to deal with, you don't want to do no negotiation. It's not even negotiation. The man don't even want to do the negotiation. So, it is what it is.
What does Bud say to you when you guys are talking about the Spence fight? What does he say to you? Because he doesn't really talk to the media too much. But what does he say to you? Because you're a close friend to him, and you also train him and stuff like that. I heard you get in the ring and sometimes spar with him. So what does he say to you when you guys are talking about that Spence fight?
Just like the same old shit I'll be basically saying, basically what I'll be saying. Fuck him, like I, what I'm. It's the same old shit. Like fuck him, This nigga talking crazy. I done got at him personal on the phone, just chopping it up, just like it's almost like you seen that movie Ali, and you seen Frazier and Ali talking. If you ever seen that movie, it ain't too much different, except they was over the phone and both showing each other respect, and then Errol get out on the public and show disrespect. So it just shows his character and everything like that. And Bud just like fuck that nigga, man. I ain't gonna excuse my language, but he ain't. You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean. I'm saying them type of words just to emphasize. You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do, bro? It's not, the nigga don't want it. Fuck him.
So is your problem the fact that when y'all had a private conversation, meaning when I say I mean I'm including you, the Bud side had a conversation with Errol Spence. the conversation was somewhat of like, hey, we're gonna work it out. But then when he gets on live and go, oh, I'm gonna give you 60-40, I'm gonna give you 70-30, 80-20, like y'all taking that as a disrespect. The fact that we spoke as men, and in public, you giving a different type of energy.
Yes, you could say that. Yes, you could say that. Thanks the way I like the way you put that. Yep.
Okay. All right. Right. So it somewhat sounds like Bud is getting tired of this shit. So do you think he will move up to 154 and try to find a legacy fight there? Or do you think he's going to stay at 147 and campaign there?
Well, I think everything that you're doing is legacy. Every time you get in the ring is legacy. So it's like we overachieving now. I mean, like I say, we got undisputed. The different things, like I say, when we was emphasizing which Blue was trying to give love the other day, like I say, was showing that how feared Victor Postal was. When we beat him to unify. What's his name? Ndongo had won his 2 championships with knockouts. He had knocked out somebody. It was like 48-0. He won the IBF, and then the second one I can't remember when he won the WBA, who he beat for it. But like I say, he was undefeated when Bud beat him for undisputed. So like I say, no matter how you get his undisputed, he didn't get him. He fought for all his titles. He fought somebody for all his titles. And I mean, so far as legacy, like I say, everything is legacy, and he been handling his business as far as his legacy. But 54, he told me 54. He said 54, we might as well go up and fight Charlo or try to find something in that range, which is a good fight, And I think that we can outbox Charlo. I think for whatever disadvantages we got far as probably he's a lot bigger, and he's a strong fighter. He can kind of take it too, but Tony Harrison can box him, and we triple better boxing than Tony Harrison.
All right, that's interesting. So you guys don't see maybe your power moving up to 154 because Bud's a power hunter. You don't think he could possibly?
Oh yeah, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they got like people. Bud is a kind of a slender welterweight. You understand? Charlo's kind of a heavier junior middleweight. And so, and then like I say, Bud, he came from 135. Like I say, he's a smaller guy. So I'm just saying, whatever worst case scenario, we can outbox him. That's what I'm saying. Just giving an analysis on a fight. And if we would choose to fight him, they would try to say how we combat that, whatever. But, we would outbox him.
Remind me, was Bud lineal champion at 135?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I see. I wasn't 100% sure. I knew you would know.
Ring Magazine, yes, sir. Ring Magazine. He owned 2 of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I got a question here from one of my subscribers, real American fan, one of my more loyal subscribers. He says, ask Bernie what he think about Demetrius Andrade's situation. I feel like it's a lot similar to Bud. What do you think? Exactly. About Bud going to 154. We already answered the 154, but do you see him and Andrade situation being similar?
Yes, ain't no question. There's no question about that, and it's just the fighters don't want to get in there with him. It ain't about if you like I say. Some people just take off better than others. Like I say, the Charlos, they got a swag about them. They talk a lot of shit. Well, the little one talk a lot of shit, and so they got a swag about them. They got the drip, they got this. People like to attach on to that. Andre, he don't have none of that. He don't have. He got his own style, and he's hard to fight, and so nobody really want to have nothing to do with him. Bud Crawford is the same thing. He's not in with the in crowd, and he hard to beat. He's a terror in the ring. So, shit, I don't see what's more. It's almost just like whatever they like about. I'm just like I say, they talking about Errol Spence such a draw. Why? Who Errol Spence? Why care about Errol Spence like that? Like, what does Errol Spence do besides hang with Yellow Beezy or anything that's like more noteworthy or more cooler than Bud or more? You understand? I don't see nothing.
The only thing I will say is that he is a little bit more accessible to the media. I feel like Bud sometimes doesn't like doing the whole interviewing them, like thing, you know what I'm saying? And maybe you can talk more about that. Why doesn't he give more interviews and stuff like that?
Well, because people are always talking crazy about him and slick talking, which, you know, I don't mind. I would like to tell them the truth to their face. But shit, Errol Spence, shit, I don't see him nowhere. I don't see him getting more media coverage. I don't see him in the media. I don't see him doing nothing. I watch his Instagram too. I follow him on Instagram. I don't see him posting a lot or doing nothing or nothing. I don't see him doing nothing. So maybe because he in Dallas. So like I say, you know, he in Dallas. So
it's a bigger city.
You know what I mean? But far as anything else, I don't.
Do you think that Bud could become a pay-per-view star? Because that's been the knock on him. That's why the PBC side is saying that the fight hasn't been made, because that Bud doesn't sell pay-per-views. That's what their side is. Do you think Bud will become a star where he's selling 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 pay-per-views?
Well, I think listen, first of all, like I say, you got to look at the market. And no matter what you say, you know, people are streaming everything. People has got that, they got them clickers and they steal the fights. Okay. Bud has never been put in a situation to where it was look like a 50-50 fight or it's a danger fight. Like I say, you know, they didn't promote the Postal fight right. Nobody knew who Postal was. They didn't promote that fight. They threw it on pay-per-view. They threw the Amir Khan pay-per-view fight kind of hasty. Okay, and Amir Khan, Bud looking like, you know, it's not even going to be competitive.
Yeah.
Now, when you got Errol Spence, who they hyping up, they putting him up as the man. Okay, now you got Mikey Garcia, who's undefeated, whose name's in the headlines. He could fight Vasily Lomachenko. He's done this. They putting them all how good he is, how technical, efficient he is, and Mike Garcia, right? So now they're going to watch him to be great and see if he can topple this big, strong welterweight that, quote unquote, nobody wants to fight, which ain't true. Come on, man. I was at the fight. It was boring as fuck. You watched the fight. It was sad. On my mama. It was deep. I was there. We went to the fight like to see what was gonna really pop off. You know, like shit, Earl, maybe Earl gonna stop him, or you know, I ain't give Mikey much of a chance, but like I say, even his brother didn't want him to take the fight. But the popularity that Mikey brings, you understand? So they gonna just transfer it to Earl. It wasn't, come on.
So, but I'm playing devil's advocate. So
go ahead. Yeah.
What do you say to the people that go, all right, but Bud fought Porter, Errol fought Porter, and Errol sold more?
Okay, well, again, it was a nice fight. I can't say about the pay-per-view. I can't say about the pay-per-view. But again, we get in the fight last, you know? We get in the fight last. And at the same time, I don't know about the pay-per-view, but the venue sold out.
Yeah, the venue sold out. Yeah. So what's holding up the fight? Because I know your side wants to fight for sure. Listen, every time Bud got a mic in his face, I saw him in Miami looking for the big fish. I know he wants to fight. I have no doubt on that. Is it more the money, or is it that Spence is ducking? Which is the reason why we haven't got the fight?
They don't want the fight. They don't want the fight. It's plain and simple. It's obvious. Listen, and then another thing too. Like I say, you've never heard so many excuses about a guy not fighting ever. You've never heard so many excuses. He on top rank. He don't got a belt. He too small. He moved too much. Again, it's pay-per-views. You've never heard so many excuses. These is different excuses from every one of these guys. And then I don't know what the truth is, but when the rumors come out, they always wanted over more money but again, they've already publicly didn't want the fight. Every single one of them, from Mikey, Danny, Keith, Earl, all Sean at first, like I say, none of them guys had no reason to fight Bud. They never want to embrace him. Just like I said, then I said PBC, they never even, okay, from two different things. I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Okay, if we beefing with Top Rank or quote unquote, we don't fuck with them, and why just not get all the welterweights? So we not gonna necessarily we ain't gonna demean Bud. We can court him though. We gonna let him know that it's sweet over here. As soon as whenever you get free, we can be good over here. We can just monopolize the whole welterweight division. If we get Terence Crawford and Errol Spence underneath one banner, you feel me? Nobody never think about that. Like I say this too, they never even put Bud up on the banners. They never talk about him on the shows like with Kate Abdo and different things like that. They never mention Bud. They never show him up on the banner. You feel me? So it's just like they was trying to shun Bud and like exclude him. It's almost like a blackball, really.
So is it fair to say that Terence Crawford is somewhat holding a grudge? The fact that PBC wouldn't put him up on the banner, we're
not saying we don't have no grudges, family. I'm just making it obvious that they don't want the fight. There's not a grudge. These things is coming out to because we're getting attacked. Like I say, we're getting attacked. He ain't fighting nobody. He ain't doing this. When the man said, they was holding us up. Mikey Garcia turned the fight down. He moved too much. He do this. Everybody had a reason not to fight the man. And then Earl came out with his reason. He's on the wrong side of the street. Keith Thurman said he had to get a belt. Mikey Garcia said he moved too much. He did an interview riding in the car. Keith Thurman said he needed a belt. Danny Garcia was saying this and that, trying to play us off, even though it's love with him and him. When you see them, they grew up together in the amateurs. When everybody used to come to the ringside, that was a big tournament we used to go to in Kansas City. They got a little thing. You could tell they got a mutual respect and love for each other. Now, when Danny got and did his little interview and people was pressing him, he was kind of trying to say a little shade on Crawford, but it's still love. So Danny's not aiming for the fight. None of these guys are saying, I want to fight Crawford. They're all doing what they told in tow. It's obvious, right? Just like I said this, and I say this again, which none of these boxing blogs, whoever said it, they're not being devil advocate. All they're doing is talking for Earl and making everything seeing it from his side. I said this. I said, if Sean Porter and Bud is so good friends and he considers him a friend, why didn't he be a leader of the pack and try to fight a unification with Bud when he was, before he fought Errol Spence? Why didn't he be a trendsetter and ask them guys can I unify with Crawford? Nobody else wants to fight him. I'll fight him. Then again, like I say, it's not nothing in the fighting them. The WBO is a respected championship. I can name plenty of noteworthy fighters that held the WBO. I can say a lot of noteworthy things they've done. I can do a lot of knocking on the WBC and a lot of knocking on the WBA. So I'm saying Sean Porter never reached out and tried to be a trendsetter and fight Bud. Again, their agenda was never to fight Bud for whatever reason.
But moving forward, is Terence Crawford totally opposed to signing with PBC to make the fight easier so they both on the same side of the street? I would take that, excuse away from him.
I don't think. Now, listen, this like I'm saying now. He shouldn't have to sign up under nobody. Now we can do a working partnership and a deal, but why? That's it. Why it can't be a working partnership and a deal? And again.
Is Terence Crawford trying to open up his own promotional company or something like that?
See, I don't know. I don't know all the things like that. But I'm saying you don't need a promoter. Like Canelo don't have a promoter. Whatever they're doing within that, which I don't know, Mikey Garcia, whatever they're doing, that's what I'm believing that we're trying to do. Yeah. Bud is trying to do whatever Canelo's doing, and that his independency and Mikey Garcia and that's what Bud is trying to do. Whatever Devin Haney is doing He's working with the zone. He's that's what we're trying to do. You understand? So it shouldn't be we're free to do business with whomever.
Okay, but you can't compare in terms of popularity wise. I'm not talking about skills wise. You can't really compare what Canelo is doing with Terence Crawford because of the popularity level, which is why people are willing to do a one-off with Canelo because he's such a big star and he's going to bring such big money. A lot of people don't view Terence Crawford as that popular to grant him, just a one-fight deal, have him go take 3, 4, 5 belts and then move and take him to another network. Like, that's not how some of these promotional companies work.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I hear with that, and maybe they might have Mike, but I'm still saying Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford, So, who he is. The proof is in the pudding. He didn't accomplish everything that pretty much you can achieve. So, then I would say I couldn't tell you exactly, but it'll be a standoff because there's no guarantee signing with PBC that you're going to get the Errol Spence fight. There's not a guarantee. You feel me? There's not a guarantee. There's not a guarantee. So again, like I said, then they said, again, so we talking about that. There's not a guarantee. So why would Bud do that? You feel me? Why would Bud do that? And why would they? So I don't know. Like I say, nobody. They hate that man. I don't know why they hate the kid. I don't understand.
I got a question from one of the fans. He asks Bernie, do we think American fighters get treated fairly compared to guys from different countries, knowing that Terence Bud Crawford is one of the best fighters of this generation?
Black fighters got to be loud and dumb and ignorant to get all that shit. Black fighters got to act a fool to quote unquote be pay-per-view stars. Lord bless him, but you see Mayweather got to act a fool. Mayweather got to act a fool. He had to act a fool. Mayweather acted a fool. Mayweather was acting a fool, throwing money and all this nonsense. And I mean, like I said, I love Mayweather. I got tremendous respect.
Black fighters have to somewhat playing into the stereotype and to get a pay-per-view chance?
Yes. Crawford is a handsome fella. Now listen, when you getting these guys, these ain't TV guys. These guys ain't trained in TV. When you get an actor or you get somebody, you got to prep them. So prep these guys. You got to prep these guys. If they need something, help them. If you being a promoter and you doing something, help them.
Okay.
Like you can't.
I mean, if he not a TV guy, let Bud know he's welcome on my YouTube show.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. What's up, family? Oh, where I'm going, Scooter? All right, thanks, Scooter. Appreciate you. Yep.
You good?
You said now what? Go ahead.
I was saying that since you're saying Terence Crawford is not really a TV guy, if he's a YouTube guy, he could be on my YouTube show and I can have him on the same way I'm interviewing you.
I'm not saying. Listen, the man, he doing good. Them interviews, you see how he doing good. He opening up a little bit more.
No, I like him.
Yeah. He comfortable. Andre Ward. Andre Ward know how to talk to the fighters. Andre Ward know how to. Like I say. And then all these guys got something negative to say about him. All these guys got, so Bud is stubborn in that way that it's like, you feel me? Like if you talking shit about me, fuck you. No, I ain't gonna grant you. He won't even do an interview with the newspaper. He won't even do the interview in the newspaper because they were slighting him here in the hometown.
Yeah, but isn't that a bit petty? Isn't that a bit petty? Like, let's try to get the promotion.
Hold on, give me a second.
No problem.
Come on, what you doing? Hey, my bad. I was waiting in the front.
We just walked out.
I was waiting in the front.
Oh, no, we just walked out.
All right.
He wanted me to talk to you and your mom or his mom. I be going to Genesis. I take him to Genesis on Monday and Tuesday. So, you heard him? That's too big for you, man.
What's up, D-Lo? What's up, D-Lo?
I said that's too big for you, man.
Me? Nah. Go ahead.
But yeah, I take him in there on Monday and Tuesdays. just to, practice and dribbling and stuff. So I was telling him, Rob was telling him about it.
I'll get your phone number.
Okay, go ahead. 402.
I'm doing an interview right now.
Oh, go ahead.
I can't do it. I'm on an interview right now. Appreciate you.
All I want is get him a smaller ball.
Yeah, you said that. I got you.
He got the man's ball, not even a youth.
I got you. Appreciate you, D-Lo. Love, family.
Hey, I like that, man. That's you.
Yeah, it's me.
No, I know it.
Yeah, it's you. Ain't no question. Okay. I'm gonna get you a ball. All right, I'm doing an interview. I'll talk to you about it when I get home. Okay. It's my bad.
No, you good, brother. Family first. You picking up your son. That's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. I'm never gonna knock you for that.
It's cool. So I mean, it's just like I say, Bud is a handsome guy. It's two different things. Like I say, it's not that necessarily that he's not a TV person, Like I say, he turned them guys down for talking stuff about him, which, I don't agree with it at the same time because, again, you need exposure. And if somebody says something bad about me, I want to talk about it. So if you say something about me, I'm gonna interview. You gonna interview me, and I'm gonna bring up what you said, and I'm gonna get on your ass about it. But everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? And I can't say. Skills pay the bills.
I get what you're saying, and I just want Terence Crawford to get a relationship with one YouTuber or one podcaster, one media outlet, and give them constant interviews. And I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully he considers me. I'm gonna put my name in the hat, but for sure,
Listen,
I
would be that guy, but he ain't gonna
guy, and I feel like that needs to get spoken about more. And if he comes on here, I won't ask him no bullshit questions. I'll ask him the questions about his family, how he feels about everything that's going on in boxing. So, I would love to interview.
So, like I say, I got a YouTube podcast. I do my channel. I do my show, Bernie the Boxer. Okay, so listen, like I say, if you feel like that, then I will inbox him and try to get him on the show. But see, I know Bud, so I don't even bother him like that, because I mean, shit, you really ain't too much, ain't like Bud, everybody it's gonna be the same old thing, but like I said, I would reach out to him if I was you. But me being so close to him like that and having the access to him like that is just like, maybe I could do something else, but when it's just like family. He be doing so much, and I don't be wanting to bother him, me myself. But if you want to reach out to him, by all means, he ain't not turning down. He not turning down everybody. Like I say, it's just, people always talking stuff about him. So
what's the best way for me to contact him then? Because I'm pretty
Instagram.
Sure
I would DM him. DM on Instagram.
He responds.
I don't know. You gotta try it, family.
All right,
listen, just like they talking about, they don't know what to offer the man. You gotta ask the man. You can't get nothing done if you don't ask. Come on.
All right.
Only thing.
I was just hoping. Since you already close to the source, you can relay the message. But that's cool. You're right. I'll DM him.
Yeah, man. Like I say, Bud is such a cool dude. You know what I mean? And all I was saying with this was, ain't none of these guys that's talking about this boxing, they're not being objective. Like I say, and they wanna make it into everything that's being said. They're not looking at it from his side at all. And I don't know if it's because we from Omaha. Like I say, he from Dallas, but what is Dallas? I mean, I don't know. That's like he said, they got the Cowboys. Who was the Cowboys? The man just said Dak was a $80 million whatever.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, this narrative is a motherfucker, man. And he been had a bad narrative spoke on him ever since the Olympics, bro. That's what I'm saying. Behind closed doors, the man said he sound like he hard to deal with. So they gonna keep saying that, he hard to deal with. He hard to deal with. That keep going around. Why? How you know if it's hard to deal with him if you ain't never dealt with him?
No, I agree. The thing
so
is,
it's a lot of.
There be a lot of fucking squares interviewing Bud, and they get intimidated because they're not from the hood. Like, see, me and you, I'm from Brooklyn, you from Omaha, but we cut from the same cloth, so that's why you comfortable with me, I'm comfortable with you. That's why I was saying, like, yo, Bud on here, he will be good with me. And I know for a fact, because we cut from the same cloth, not necessarily that I'm a boxer, but in the sense that we both, I don't know, we both got a certain level of the same mentality. I don't know if I'm making sense.
I'm real, my nigga. Bud is real, my nigga. Bud is real. Bud is not a fluff cake. I'm not a fluff cake. You can't put nothing in my face and I'm gonna take it. You can't listen. Respect is first. You understand? Demand it. Loyalty. You feel me? Real. You ain't got, like I say, Bud, he treat people, he treat everybody, he don't treat you no different. If you Warren Buffett or you you know nobody know you, you ain't got no money, you ain't got no chain, you ain't got nothing, he gonna treat you the same. You feel me? He gonna treat you the same. So he's a real one. Like I say, look, man, you know, and when you ain't like that, just like Gary Russell, for all whatever intents and purposes, like I say, you know, we had trouble with Gary Russell and this and that. When you stand up and you got legs stand on, they ain't nobody messing with you. Andre, ain't nobody messing with you. They gotta find a reason, 1,000 reasons to not fight you. Beat him cause he good, motherfucker. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. Beat him cause that motherfucker cold, nigga. And don't nobody want to have nothing to do with him. So you beat a motherfucker to beat him. Don't throw nothing else up in his face. The reason why, you see what I'm saying? You ain't got to tear him down. Tell the truth. He tough. I better stay away from him. When I get with him, I'm gonna get with him when I need. You understand? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Tell the truth. See, folks think when they tell the truth, people gonna respect you more. Tell the truth. No, he vicious. I better watch out for him. I better come with my A game for him. You understand? I respect his talent. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't got to say he don't sell. He run too much. He do this. You know, like I say, we'd have cut Mikey Garcia up. We'd have bust them boys up. You understand? Come on.
Garcia is an easy fight.
Come on, man.
See you versus Spence, and also one of my subscribers is asking, Dynamic Duo. His question is, will Bud try to fight the winner of Thurman Barrios?
Fuck. I mean, listen, Keith Thurman is a hell of a fighter. They trying to throw Keith Thurman down, but of course that'll be a good record on a good name on our resume and a good fight because Keith Thurman is still a hell of a fighter and a top-notch fighter, a unified world champion, and all this other good stuff. You know, they trying to salt that down. But you know, I can't say, you know, and none of his fans is on this man to make the fight. That's the shame. That is a shame. None of his fans, all his fans are rooting for him to just do everything else but fight Bud, you know. And like I say, at the end of this fight, if he not calling out Bud, if he's not, I mean, it's just a shame. I mean, the man don't want to fight deep in his heart.
I got a question. What did you make of Errol Spence walking out of the fight before the interview with Terence Crawford? And what did Terence Crawford make it out?
First, like I said, you know, Bud said, damn, he had my fight. He said he don't be going to my fights. And then you remember when Errol said he had my fight, why he had my fight? That's what his dumb ass said. Lame as shit. Goofy motherfucker. Why Terence had my fight? Cause it's a boxing fight. We a fan. We like fights. Why else would we be at the fight? Family? You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? So when Bud was at his fight, when Bud didn't know, I didn't even know Errol Spence was there. They said, I learned just as he did in the ring. Oh, he had my fight? He said he don't be coming to my fights. Why he had my fight? Like I say, they don't ever put enough on this. Errol Spence was a fan of Bud until he became a rival. When he was at 140 and we knocked out Delorme, they came to the fights, came to the lobby, came to the hotel, talked to Red. Everything was cool because we was at 40 and he was at 47. Soon as we got to 47, shit changed. See, bitch ass shit. That's the shit that people don't realize, and these weak motherfuckers that saying they fans and shit like that, they ain't listening when Red say that on my show. They ain't listening. They ain't keeping up with the real. You feel me? That's what I'm saying. Come on, bro.
Does Bud respect Errol as a man? Because he's saying he's ducking doing all this. Does he respect him as a man?
I'm thinking he losing respect for him as a man, especially when he said that old weak ass shit, 80-20, whatever we give him. And we done showed the man love. We done showed the man love when he got hurt. Like I say, you know, that's the type of shit. That's what I'm saying. See, that's the thing that they not understanding. Everybody else talking about business, talking about this, talking about that. But where we coming from is the simple things. It's simple. Nobody wanted to fight that man. And this man got a reason not to fight him. And his fans got a reason not to fight him. They making up every reason not to fight. He should have flicked Bud off or something. Why would he get out? He smacked his lips like a little bitch and walked out. His homeboys was up there shaking their heads. Why is y'all shaking your heads? Fuck that nigga. We came here to hopefully see him get his ass whooped. Or if not, we want him next. Come on, what the fuck is we doing over here? They twisting their lips up, walking out. Man, see what I'm saying? I'm just saying shit like that just weak to me. You feel me? Just weak to me, bro. That shit just, and I'm not saying, you know, it is what it is. You know, that shit weak to me. That just shit, when Bud was down there, when he fought there, it was havoc, and Bud wasn't doing none of that weak ass shit. All his cousins, his family, they all wanted to talk to Bud. They all want to take pictures with Bud. Come on. All his family wanted to love on Bud. That's what Bud told me on my mind. Hey, listen, come on. Ain't nobody messing with Bud when he went down there. Them niggas, man, everybody want to show that man love. It was a few haters, of course, but wasn't nobody doing nothing. It's all love down. Come on, man. This man just don't want to fight. That man don't want to fight. His fans don't want to fight, family. Come on, it's obvious. I'm tired of talking about it on my mind. Come on, bro. He could have fought Bud before this shit. He didn't need Ugas, my nigga. Don't nobody want to see Ugas and Spence. We gonna take it, but don't nobody want to see that shit. Nigga, come on. You should have, come on, bro. Come on.
Yo,
come on.
Yo, I got a caller coming in. He's gonna ask you a question. So
go ahead.
Let's see what he got to say.
Go ahead.
Coach Frank, what's going on? What's your question for Bernie?
Do you think Bud would take a fight with Tank Davis just to get the pay-per-view?
Man, Tank Davis wouldn't get in the ring with Bud.
Oh, looks like
that makes sense.
We got the answer, but he's damn, we lost him. Damn. He must have lost service. But you got your answer to your question at least.
Yeah. All right. Oh, thank you.
All right. All right, cool. Oh. Bernie's back. Hold on. He's getting his.
Hold on. It might be in my house, so I'm gonna have to go back to my car.
Okay,
have to go back to my car. Was it him?
No problem.
Was it him or me?
Nah, it was you.
Cause we good.
Yeah, we good now. We good now.
Is I'm breaking up now?
Nah, you're not breaking up. You good. Hold on. Because I actually know
my phone dead. My phone about to die.
Actually, I really appreciate you being on my show. I'm gonna screen share your profile. Get being on my show. I'm gonna screen share your profile. Hold on. For all you guys who are interested in seeing Bernie the Boxer, his YouTube channel right here, Bernie the Boxer. That's Bernie THA Boxer BOXER right here. You can see here he goes live as well. He has a YouTube channel. Please support him. Go subscribe. Tell him Broadway Joel sent you. We showing love. He came to my show. I'm showing him love. He's showing me love. Please subscribe. Watch his videos. All right. Yeah. But yeah, so you frozen? Damn, you froze up again on me. But there you go, American fan. I gave you his YouTube channel. It's Bernie the Boxer, but the Boxer is THA, not THE. I don't know why Bernie he's froze. Either way, I'm gonna end the show like that. It looks like he's having connection problems. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the channel. Hit that like button. I know. You guys are here, probably been here, forgot to hit the like button. Just hit the like button. It's totally free to hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button too if you haven't. If you're not a subscriber, you were just on here because you saw Bernie and you wanted to hear what he had to say. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button for this. And keep in touch with my channel. You guys know I'm always constantly dropping content for you guys. I do predictions. I do analysis on boxing and stuff like that. So, but thank you guys so much for being a part of the conversation. And I really appreciate you guys being here. All right, guys. Until next time. Peace.